And I see you've got the grill mocked in here too.
Yeah, and we've actually got the slats cut out, and we have a 3D printed bezel for the light bar there. That's still in the process, so you'll see that later.
Hey, what's up everybody? Cody with Detroit Speed here. We're back with another project update vlog. Today we're going to look specifically at Randy's 1972 K5 Blazer, and I have with me a very special guest, Bruce, who is the project fabricator for this build. All right, Bruce, so what's been going on with Randy's Blazer? I know you've been working on the rear bumper and then the front bumper and the grill, working on the hood fitment right now, but walk us through a little bit of the process, and we'll start with the rear and make our way up to the front.
So we wanted the bumper smoothed out, so we took all the carriage bolts out, filled in, smoothed it. We came up behind it and just welded some studs in there. That way, obviously, you don't need the carriage bolt anymore. And to get it closer to the body and just fit a little tighter, because the factory fit is pretty awful and it sits about a mile from the tailgate. So I actually came in here and modified the frame horns back there just to pull it in and up as much as we could. We didn't do a whole lot of modification to the actual bumper itself. A little bit here and there. We actually had kind of a banana shape to it, so we split it down the center, clamped it all down, and straightened it all out, and welded it back together, just so it had a more consistent shape to it. And then we took factory brackets, and obviously had to modify them, because if you bolted on them just where they were, they'd be sticking way out here.
Right.
Basically, that's all we've done back there so far. We'll also have a fill plate here that we'll weld in just to also clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, okay, but we'll still be able to mount the license plate there on the rear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And there may be some light bars in the back, but I'm not sure yet.
Let's go and head up to the front and look at that.
All right.
All right, now I know most of you are probably already following this build, but if you're not, so the front clip on this is actually out of a, what year Tacoma?
Ooh, 2014?
2014. So they actually grafted a Tacoma frame into the original K5 frame. So we had more options as far as suspension, right? That's kind of the big one.
Yep.
Just lots of aftermarket components for Tacoma.
Better ride quality and back opinion.
Now, obviously doing that, we couldn't use the factory bumper brackets. So Bruce had to come up with some creative new brackets up here.
Same thing as the back. We flushed, took all the carriage bolts out, ground them down, smoothed it out, and we actually welded a bracket that fits the form of the bumper right there, so that when you clamp on it and tighten it, it doesn't pull and dimple the bumper or mess up the paint once it's on there. Same thing, brought it forward as much as we can, a little bit higher, just to keep it tighter to the body. Still didn't do a whole lot of crazy modification to the bumper itself.
So it still kind of has a factory look to it, but it's not sticking out.
Still kind of looks like a truck, and not so much a street rod or it's hugged right up against it, but way better than how it would look stock.
And I see you've got the grill mocked in here too.
Yeah, and we've actually got the slats cut out, and we have a 3D printed bezel for the light bar there. That's still in the process, so you'll see that later.
Yes. Yeah, so this is kind of just to give you a rough idea of what the light bars up the front are going to look like. So there'll be two, one right here, and then instead the other one will be over here on the passenger side. Also just been doing some hood fitment. Had to adjust the hinges a little bit, make the holes a little bigger just to get the gaps better. Aftermarket fenders needed a little bit of adjustment as well, just where they weren't the quality that we like to see, so had to do a little bit of cutting and hammering there. There's always a little bit of that, I feel like. Just to get it a little bit tighter, so she's getting closer, but still a little bit more fitment for the hood. We'll have to do brackets for the light bars. They're actually somewhat heavy, so we'll have to make a decent bracket back there to hold that up. But I wanted to get all this stuff, all the coolers and everything in before I did that. That way you know how much room you have,
where to go around, where to put it. So
now, are we going to mount those brackets? Are they going to go straight to the core support, or do you think it's going to be something that comes up from the frame?
There may be a bar or something that ties both of them in together. I'm not exactly sure yet until I get into it, but most likely it'll probably go to the core support. And we also tilted this back a little bit just to make sure we had clearance for the hood.
Yeah, Matt and I talked about the hood in the last video.
Yeah.
All fiberglass, right?
Yep.
Nice. All right, that's that for this episode. Thank you, Bruce, for walking us through everything that's been going on with the K5. We'll see you next time.